Hi, my name is Jacob Ward, and today I'll be showing you how to make queso blanc. Now first I'm going to cut the jalapenos on a bias. And the reason why I like to do this is because it just makes cooking the peppers more even. It's a more even cook, if I should say. And it's also more presentable whenever you have the finished product. Okay. Now, I will do the same to the rest of the jalapenos. Now you don't have to be even with your bias cuts because unless you're making this for a restaurant, this is usually a family meal, a family food. Now, I don't have the steadiest hands in the world sometimes, so just getting them in the bias shape is good enough. Now we'll be doing the same thing to the serrano peppers. These are smaller, but they pack more heat. That's why I'm only using 2. And it's important that you don't use too much, even though the acids in the crema and the milk, it'll counteract the heat, which will then pronounce the floral flavor of the serrano peppers. You don't want to use too much. Now, queso blanc is a very warm dish. It's a nice warm soup that you would typically cook maybe in the winter. So, doing my video. Finish that. Finished cutting these on a bias. These are a little thicker than I would like, but can't change it now. So into the bowl they go. I'll be right back. I'm getting a paper towel. Now I'm going to slice some onions. Cleaning off the cutting board while they're all going in the same place. It's more presentable. Cut off ends. Cut down the center. Remove this outer skin. If you want, you can go 2 or 3 layers of the skin. That way you know what you'll have will cook all the way through properly. And in a minute, or not a minute, but in a second, I'm going to show you an onion with green skin. So with that, you'll have to go a few layers more. these aside. These in the bowl for the onions. And just do the same to this other half of the onion. Now with this one, it's pretty similar to what you did for the first onion. Cut off the ends, the way your onion is square. Cut down the center. And then we're going, see that third layer right there? Gonna peel it all the way, get rid of the green skin. Ooh, this is onion with a sprout. So technically, it's kind of like two, if I'm guessing. I've never dealt with this before, so I'll just cut it. Just cut it the way I would the other onion. Just these smaller slices. There we go. Just set these in there. Now this might seem like a lot of onion for a soup. It's not, especially this one. These will cook down real small along with the peppers and the pork chunks. So, just get this actually separated. It's too small to do anything with. No. Yes. Here we go. Anyways, just do that. Just get these all sliced up and ready to be sauteed in your pot that you'll be making the whole soup in. Now with this soup, I like to do what's called a one-pot cook. That's where I cook everything in the same general pot. I won't be cooking the rice in there because the rice is what the soup will go over. So let's get this onion sliced up with the rest. I will be back with a nice, clean cutting board and knife. All right, I'm back. I spent the past 3-4 minutes cutting these cubes or slices of pork into thirds. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because I like to make sure I have as much of the pork as I can get in each spoonful of the soup. It also helps when you're cooking them before, make it's more even cook. Just wanted to cut in to show you what I was doing. And I will cut back out and come back with the pork cut into thirds. All right, I'm back. I'm now going to do a rough chop on some nice Oaxaca cheese. Now, if you don't know what Oaxaca is, it's pretty much just Mexican mozzarella, but to me, it tastes better, and it's a nice melting cheese. Better, in my opinion, say Velveeta. I'm just gonna do some rough chops. I'm going to come back with when all this is done. That way you can see what the finished product of the cheese looks like. Alright, I'm back. This is the finished product of your chopped cheese. And then that's all, pretty much all the knife work you're going to need for the rest. And now I'm going to go to the rest of the video, which is the cooking portion. The actual sauteing of the meat and the vegetables, and then making the soup and the sauce, and then finally we'll be making some rice to pour this over. Alright, the pan's warm enough now. I'm going to add my canola oil, just enough to get a little bit in there. Now I'm going to pour the pork in. I'm just going to let that brown a little bit. I'm back. My pork is mostly brown now. I'm going to add in first I'm going to make a little well in there, or I'm going to add the onions. Get it all in there. And I'm going to stir this so I can get most of the onions underneath the pork. And I am actually going to cover this for got my lid. Let that steam. I'll come back. I'm back now that I've let these onions sweat for about 2 minutes. I'm going to add in the chilies right here. Let them get into this party. Alright, now I'm going to let these steam again and get those peppers nice and soft. And then soon it'll be time to add the crema, milk, and cheese. Alright, Down in the back, I let these peppers steam. And now I'm going to add in the crema first. And it's just gonna sort of pipe in, kind of like frosting, maybe, apt description, and just pipe in about half a quart of your crema, or 16 fluid ounces. And this will be the base of your soup, your sauce base, if you will. And for this, I'm using crema Herradura. Hondurina, sorry. And that is crema from Honduras, if I'm not mistaken. Or it's a recipe of pretty much sour cream. I'm gonna stir this in with my spat so I can get it nice and all incorporated and let the fats of the cream mix in with the peppers, onions, just everything. Now this is a little thick right now. In about, it's thinning out just a little bit. Now I'm going to add in a quart of cold whole milk. Or maybe half a quart. That's 2/3 of a quart. Just make sure you stir it. And finally, all that cheese you chopped up, just kind of make sure it gets in there. It's all over the place, not one concentrated area. That way when you stir it, it'll all melt cohesively and not one big lump. Now, I, on the other hand, made one big lump. So I'm gonna stir. And just make sure you get it all nice and incorporated with every bit of the onions, the peppers, the meat. Just get it all nice and in there. Get this onion, get a taste. That's good. And now I'm gonna let this simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. Let it do its thing. Alright, now that I've gotten this to a nice boil, I've lowered the temperature to about medium on my electric stovetop. Now, I want to show you something if I can find it. Ah, right there. That is burnt cheese. And that is from not stirring it frequently, or not frequently, but stirring it frequently enough that you're not forgetting about it. Luckily, it was only that bit. I don't know if you can tell, but the actual soup has reduced by, I want to say, half an inch. So, once it reduces, I'll let it reduce by another half inch. and it'll be a little thicker than what it is now. But you just want to get all the milk, the cream, the cheese, everything incorporated properly. Don't let something sit for... Don't just stir and forget. It's not that type of soup. These are probably... Give this about another 5 minutes and then this portion of the meal will be done. And I'll just make the rice. Alright, I've let the soup reduce some more. Now I'll take it off. Alright, take that out of the camera. Now I'm going to be making some rice. And this will take 6 minutes tops. Alright, to cut time on this video, I'm going to explain all that I'm going to do for this rice. I'm going to boil 4 cups of rice for 4 cups of water for 2 cups of rice. I'm adding salt, make the water boil faster. And then once the water gets to a boil, I'm going to add the rice. And then when the water gets to a boil again, I'm going to cover the rice and take it off the heat for 5 minutes. And then you should have nice fluffy rice that you can put into a bowl and pour your soup over. So I'll be back with my finished product of the Queso blanc soup over rice. Alright, this is my finished product. Give it a little taste. Yep. It's nice, cheesy, creamy, warm and filling. Perfect for a nice winter dinner.